Hello everybody, this is Cheryl from Lyric Soul Healing. I just wanted to come on and give you a general reading. So we're going to start off with the Keepers of the Light Oracle. And we're going to see who is working with this collective particularly. We have Gaia, Earth Connection, Green Terra, Supreme Protection. So you are my Earth people. Man, look at all that nature. Holy cow. So Gaia, Earth Connection. Be mindful of the planet. Come back to Earth, stay grounded. Green Terra, Supreme Protection. You are protected. Cords are being cut. Move beyond limitation. Trust. Bridget, inner strength. Move back to wholeness. Recognize that you have the power. Cernunos, life force. Express your driving passion. I'm going to pull from my homemade tarot. What are the specific issues, concerns, or focus points that need to be dealt with? Ooh, hello. Masculine energy, hello. This particular collective. Toxic influences. Is there anything else that needs to come out of here? Okay, that's it. So, let's get to reading. All right, so, please guide me. Reading this as effective as possible. So the main theme of this is peace, and peace also has a 4 on the top. 4 can sometimes mean, like 4 is usually really stable, but it can also kind of equal out to that, being stuck between 4 walls and trapped in a belief system or a system of some sort. So then we've got Gaia, the Earth Connection. So I feel like this group is kind of speaking to nature, our nature, the cycles of nature, the natural rhythm of nature. Now I'd like to read some of the pages here from the Indigo Tarot, or Indigo Oracle deck. Okay, so we have acceptance, Archangel Michael. Archangel Michael's all about protection. Or apologize, okay? Apologize asks you to take the high road in this situation. Saying that you're sorry is one of the best ways to let pressure off yourself and diffuse tension. Even if you perceive that you've done nothing wrong, the angels ask you to apologize in general for any disappointment or frustration that arose. Be sure to have an honest discussion with yourself or the other person about the underlying feelings that led to the conflict. The angels certainly don't want you to cover up your true emotions. Note that while saying you're sorry may not be easy or even seem fair, in this situation it's being asked of you because it serves a higher purpose. This is a lesson for you to put aside your pride and do something for the greater good. The greater good. This is my greater good pile. Are we all light workers? You might resonate with being a light worker. So let's go into the acceptance one. As an indigo, you're built to question everything. Oh yeah, of course, I pulled indigo cards. You guys are probably indigos. Just like me, we buck the system. So as an indigo, you're built to question everything as part of your mission to making healthful changes to this planet. However, this characteristic may cause you to reject a part of your life that's necessary in order to get you to the next step. This card is a message for you to search through your life and determine if there is anything or anyone you are rejecting. Accepting your life completely is the best thing you can do for yourself now. While this may not be easy or even seem right. Know that you simply cannot change everything you do not like, and certain things must be tolerated in this lifetime. Ask the angels to bring your strength and comfort to make letting go and accepting easier. I really see this as we're kind of in this acceptance phase where we're starting to see that there's a lot of stuff that we can't make those choices for the people, and we are protected as we go about what we do, but we have to stop putting ourselves in positions that are harmful to ourselves. I think we need to apologize to ourselves for putting ourselves in those positions out of passion. So a lot of times people will fight for a cause, but then it causes people to fight them, if that makes any sense. You're so passionate about something that you start to argue with people over it instead of even just approaching them like a friend and saying, hey, have you heard of this new thing? You know, usually people come in and they're already on the defensive saying, I can't believe you did that to the earth. I can't believe you did that to your kid. I can't believe that you did that. You know, so we have to kind of approach it a little differently. So accepting that the world is where it is and we have to move through it, and any little bit that we can change is an improvement, right? Every improvement is an improvement. Do not underestimate the small improvements. So we have acceptance. Archangel Michael is protecting you. Always, if you feel unsafe, or ask for Archangel Michael's assistance. Apologize. I really think this apology is it's less about apologizing to other people, and it's more about excuse me, let me slow down. Okay, somebody needs to get grounded. More about apologizing to yourself. So there's this practice called Ho'oponopono, and it is literally just saying, I'm sorry, please forgive me. I love you. I thank you. I forgive you. And I forgive myself. And when you go through that process and you genuinely feel that towards yourself, something shifts, you know, like you get that apology that nobody gave you before from yourself. It's very important. Okay, so Archangel Metatron. I'm going to have to read that one because we all have different interpretations of that. Archangel Metatron, the first angel on the tree of life in the Kabbalah, helps those who are newly upon the spiritual path. Ooh, you guys might be new on the spiritual path. He oversees indigos and ensures that their spiritual gifts stay open and active. Like all the archangels, Metatron is unlimited and is able to be with everyone who calls upon him. This card asks you to work with Archangel Metatron in your daily life to welcome messages and signs confirming to you that you are perfect no matter what. This powerful messenger of heaven can help bring you peace in situations you feel are very unfair or imbalanced. Yep, there you go. Every time you call upon Metatron, this archangel will immediately go to work, bringing you a calm understanding of the situation in your life. He will also help you let go of resentment and unforgiveness so you can move on and not allow lower energy to affect your life. I think this is the group of people who have been really hurt. But you know what? I have too, and our pain is our power. I've learned a lot of wisdom from my life through the experiences I've gone through, and it all made sense at one point when I had my awakening. So I'm sure if you haven't understood that yet, it's coming. You'll understand. And if you don't understand, feel free to book a session with me and I'll help you understand your personal situation. All right, so share your wisdom. Yep, see? So accepting where you're at, Archangel Michael is protection. Apologize to yourself for whatever's been done in the past, whatever you allowed yourself to go through to get to where you need to be, where you can actually share your wisdom with the world. And Archangel Metatron, usually, I like to do some meditations sometimes with Steve Noble, and his have Archangel Metatron bringing down the light of the ascension grid to your crown chakra. So I think that's got something to do with it. Being able to download this information and then share your wisdom from your higher self. But in order to get there, you have to heal. So that's why I'm here. I help people heal and get over that stuff so that they can step into their true purpose and their manifestation. Sorry, getting a little squirrely about the lines there. So then we've got karmic relationships, love, heartbroken, separation, palm tree, coffee cup, and self-indulgence. So the karmic relationships, I think, are speaking about the triggers, fleeting triggers, and lessons. And the last one that says letting go and loving you. And then love is all about oneness. There's a lot of stuff coming through on that one. So that one says unconditional love, self-love, oneness, passion, affection, attraction. I'm getting that it's about self-love. Also your passion in life, because your passion in life does bring your purpose along with it. If you're passionate about something, there's a reason. Heartbroken. So a lot of us are grieving a lot of changes that have been happening in our lives, a lot of shifts in our relationships. We've either upgraded, we've decided to step into our power, so we've left karmic relationships, we've left relationships that just can't keep up with us, and they just literally cannot reach our level. And unfortunately, we do have several relationships have been happening where it's like a chemical reaction, you know, like the chemistry, is not really good, you know? It's like if you mix certain ingredients together, they become a bomb. If you mix certain ingredients together, they become a cake, you know? Some ingredients just don't belong together, and so we kind of have to step away from some relationships when they turn volatile with us. I hope that makes sense. Then we got separation. There's a lot about like yearning for the past, missing people, unsure of the future, and that is totally okay, my friend. I mean, that's a part of life. We don't really know what's going to happen next unless we're replaying the same thing over and over again, are we? And that's not really life, that's just automation. So once we learn to step into the acceptance of where we are and the fact that the future will unfold to our highest and best good, then the better off we'll be, because we'll start to move through it a lot easier. The palm tree is about stability, security, permanence, growth, endurance, and flexibility. And honestly, it's this is all about our foundation, right? We're rebuilding our foundation. If you're going through this, if you're coming to my page, then you are rebuilding the very foundation that your entire life like was built on. It's not easy work, so you have to be kind to yourself as you're going through this. Just think about rebuilding a house foundation while the house is above it. You know, like that's tricky. It's not as easy as just pouring a foundation and then building something on top. And unfortunately, sometimes we do have to rip the whole house down in order to start all over again because the whole thing's rotten. So anyways, it's all about stability, security, permanence, growth, endurance, and flexibility. So just endure this while you need to, and understand that it won't be like this forever. The coffee cup is about feeling uplifted, meeting and conversing, savoring the moment, and friendship. So I get out of that we need to be way more present. And because I've been talking really fast in this reading, I suppose that being more present with Earth would be very grounding, and probably all of us need it. The more grounded you are, the more you can live in the present moment, and life doesn't slip past you like it seems to be doing. But also kind of focusing on friendships and being a friend with yourself, doing the things that you want to do with yourself, and then go out and find people who also want to do that with you, you know? because friendship does help. It really helps to get a perspective that's not your own, to bounce back a different reflection for you to ponder. Because sometimes our perspective is the problem, you know? And then self-indulgence. So focusing on self-worth, time to heal, shadow work, and self-appreciation. So you are definitely at the right channel if you are doing your shadow work and self-healing, self-help, shadow work. What was it saying? Yeah, if you're doing your self-work, I guess, your inner work, because that's exactly what I do. Then we've got a whole nother story here. The Hanged Man is coming up with a couple of different things. So I think I'm going to call on another clarifying message here. Can we clarify the Hanged Man in reverse for this reading, please? One card only, please, Truth. Clarifier for this Hanged Man card. Ah, there you go. So we have arrogance, stagnation, fear of sacrifice, delays, laziness, resistance to spiritual influences, and then the thing that came up next was stuck in the past. Lacking playfulness, independence, boredom, maturity, self-sufficiency. Feeling powerless, unproductive, again, unpredictable, not knowing what to expect next. Victim mentality, trapped, restricted, helpless, imprisonment, dilemma. So, I think a big part about this is usually the hangman, when it comes up, it just tells me about perspective. Usually when I look at it this way, I'm like, oh man, this guy totally sees the world right side up kind of thing. But he's hanging upside down, so technically he's seeing it from his perspective, which is upside down. So, with this being the clarifier, I would say that somebody's stuck in a perspective that is causing you to see the world for only all the negatives, or just in a way that's not right. It's not true, I guess, maybe. Sometimes we can skew our perspective of the world by our previous experiences in it. Do you know what I mean? So, stuck in the past, exactly, there you go. So you got to get out of the past so that you can move forward and see the world from the right direction, like from the right perspective, because it's hard to live in a world that looks bleak and horrible and miserable because you just expect it to be bleak and horrible and miserable because that's what you got in the past. Hopefully that makes sense. Now, then we have the Three of Swords, of course, so that just explains heartbreak, separation, sorrow, emotional pain, heart problems, betrayal, upset, loss, trauma, tears. This is all about really deep pain that's been caused. And there are several ways to get out of that pain. I'm just counting the cards here because I realized that they're all underneath the other ones. That's interesting. So karmic relationship caused the Hanged Man and the past situations to cause you to have a skewed perception. Love, oneness has caused this Three of Swords. Oneness or unconditional love? I think it's unconditional love, because instead of judging who was safe and worthy of that unconditional love, we just jump in and give unconditional love to anybody, and then that person is not safe for us, because those, hurt people, right? Just like, oh, hey, you're familiar, you're just like me, we're both hurt, but then you hurt each other, and then that makes you even more hurt, and then you go out into the world and you hurt more people. It's a messed up cycle that needs to end, and hopefully you're here to end it. Then underneath heartbroken, we have the Hierophant in reverse, which is usually the marriage card. So you might be rejecting marriage, rejecting relationships, And you could just be in rebellion here too, and trying to find new approaches, because what worked in the past, or what you tried in the past, didn't work. It left you heartbroken and grieving. Then the Devil in reverse, that's a good sign. This is overcoming problems anywhere that you've left your power behind. It's also reclaiming your power. But it can also mention detachment here. So you might be feeling pretty detached from the world right now. Oh yeah, see, it's under separation. You're separated from people, you're feeling detached, and that's okay too, because sometimes we have to detach from other people's influences so that we can understand our true self, especially when you've been born in codependency. Codependency robs you because you never get to live your life. You're always living somebody else's. So it's okay to be detached for a little bit. So if you're feeling detached, just understand that that's a part of the process. Then we have the Emperor in reverse. The Emperor is usually an authority figure, a structured fatherhood type of thing. When it's in reverse, it says domination, rigidity, excessive controlling, tyranny, lack of discipline, stubborn rigor, and aloofness. This can be speaking to the fact that when we're hurt, we just need to have a rigid structure of what's okay and what's not okay, and sometimes it doesn't make any freaking sense. Like, sometimes you just need to be alone because everybody around you is triggering you. So, to me, like, this is kind of saying, like, maybe you're trying to protect yourself from triggers by being too hard on the people around you, by having too big of walls around you. And that's okay too, because it's a temporary situation. If it's not temporary, then it's not okay. But that was also under palm tree. Oh, interesting. Okay. So it being under palm tree, which is stability, security, permanence, growth, endurance, and flexibility, means that that father wound might be affecting you because fatherhood was upside down. Meaning that lack of stability could be coming from a lack of stability in the father area, or a father wound. Then we have the Queen of Pentacles in reverse. Queen of Pentacles in reverse says self-absorbed financial independence, imbalance of family and work. Geez, my throat chakra is doing some fun stuff too. Excuse me. Okay, so what I'm getting from this all coming out together is that let's quit it. Imbalance of family and work, dependence, obsessed with status. You're focusing on money because you can't speak your truth. And if you can't speak your truth, then you can't have proper relationships that nurture you. And it's under the coffee cup, which is meeting and conversing, savoring the moment, feeling uplifted, and friendship. So I think you're kind of avoiding relationships in general right now. Like I said, this is all okay as long as it's temporary, right? But if you're not doing any work to make it a temporary situation, it will become your life and it will eat your whole life up. So that's why, like I said, I do what I do. I help release people energetically from these traps, really, like that we get stuck in when we're wounded. We kind of create walls around us and we have a hard time getting ourselves out of it, and then we start fighting ourselves. So if that's a situation you're in, then you might want to message me and see if maybe a session is right for you. Then we've got scatterbrained, exhaustion, lack of planning, sarcastic, gossipy, insulting, playing mind games, under self-indulgence. So the self-indulgence might be going a little too far right now. You might be, turned inwards so that you can focus on yourself and doing your shadow work. But sometimes when we're so focused on ourselves, we kind of let me read this again. Page of Swords. So Swords is about your mental processes. The page is fresh and young, just starting out. So it talks about new ideas, witty, chatty curiosity, communicative, confidence, inspiration, fairness, and mental agility. In the reverse, your mental constructs are coming first. See how his sword would be planted in the dirt? And he's coming second. So I'd really consider how this may be affecting you. I really do think this pile's been through hell. Excuse my language. Be careful about gossiping about others. Be careful about blaming other people, because one thing that I've learned through this whole experience is that we're all in the same boat, just at different places on the river. So when you see that person off in the distance and you start complaining about them or you're jealous of them, the river's taking you to the same freaking place. And if you, as long as you do the same things, obviously if you get out of the boat and you sit on the island and you're complaining about other people, that's your own fault. But when you get to that point, all of a sudden other people are going to start gossiping about you. So just be careful about how you speak about others, because you might change your mind later when you learn more. This is kind of making me think that those mental processes, those protective mechanisms are coming first, and it's causing you to self-indulge rather than doing self-work and shadow work. You're actually maybe overindulging in yourself, overindulging in things that give you a dopamine boost or something, like too much food, sleep, or something else that makes you get an instant high off of it, or like caring about yourself more than other people, and just completely going too far down the other side. Do you know what I mean? But again, that's that mental construct, and the mental constructs happen to all of us. We have protector mechanisms, and when they kick in, they really kick in. They will not let you access that wounded part until you have proper guidance. And they will fight. It's kind of like, have you ever seen a wild animal? And they're trying to protect their young from the human because it's injured, and they think the human's bad, but meanwhile the human is coming to save the injured baby, and if the wild animal won't get out of the way, then the baby will die. That's kind of like what happens inside of us too. So we have to work with that wild animal and understand it, and how it's protecting us, and how that protection is no longer a benefit to us, and how we can work through it in a productive way where everybody lives and everybody's healthy and everything's okay. Do you know what I mean? So anyways, last cards were masculine energy, fast, experienced or older, and toxic influences. Again, this is going right back to that father wound. Masculine energy is about doing, action, leadership, structure. Masculine energy is awesome when it's in a leadership role that is also balanced with its feminine energy. But when it's not, sometimes we have this where, it's impulsive, it's pushy, it's dominating. And the other thing is this experienced or older. Sometimes it's like, oh yeah, you got to trust the people who are older than you because they have more experience. That's not necessary. I mean, that might be true, but there's also a lot of older people who have been so traumatized that they're actually creating a poor example. Enter the toxic influences. Gang mentality, ganging up on each other, bullying, watching too much TV, stabbing each other in the back, gossiping, harmful subliminal messages, booze, and other substances, lying, So consider the male influences in your life, and maybe just for today, ask yourself if they are healthy influences and how you might be mimicking them, and see if that maybe helps you start shifting your mindset to a more healthy problem-solving place. Anyways, this has been 35 minutes, so I better get going. And I really, really hope that this was a insightful message. We'll see you next time. If you'd like to book a personal reading with me, feel free to book one in the link in my bio. I also do animal healing and soul healing, lineage clearing, Akashic clearing, and many, many other things, including mindset coaching.